The Catholic Morning Show.
Make sure to join us tomorrow when we have Dr. Ray Garindi and Marie Pablo on. We are about 12 minutes away from the top of the new hour. Let's go to our final interview of the day. Dr. Scott Hefelfinger is Associate Professor at the Augustine Institute Graduate School of Theology and the Director of Content for Development. The Heart of Prayer Lenten series is what we're going to be talking about today. Scott, thank you for coming on the Catholic Morning Show.
Hey, thanks for having me, and good morning.
So let's hear about it. What is the Heart of Prayer? Featuring Bishop Andrew Cozzens and in partnership with the National Eucharistic Congress.
That's right. So the Heart of Prayer, I think of it like this. It's a personal retreat for each viewer with an incredible retreat master, Bishop Cozzens, who is wise and practical and gentle with us, which I think we all need. And this personal retreat unfolds over 8 episodes. Where Bishop Cozzens just kind of walks through the reasons for prayer and the ways of prayer and some very practical tips and methods for how to pray. And so this is a great series for this season of Lent when we're called to redouble our efforts to pray. So beautiful series we have here, The Heart of Prayer, meant to teach us about prayer, inspire us, and guide us further and deeper into our lives of prayer.
So released on Ash Wednesday, unformed, but all of the episodes are together, so it's not like you can't catch back up. What was the idea? Of course, you want to get great people to speak. You want to help people focus on Lent. But what was maybe behind some of the themes this year to specifically get at the heart of prayer?
Yeah, so we had a little while back, Bishop Cozzens was involved with the National Eucharistic Congress. And after that beautiful experience of the church gathering around the Eucharist, Bishop Cozzens felt this desire to share with the church kind of a teaching on prayer. And so he, along with the National Eucharistic Congress, approached us at the Augustine Institute to see whether we could make this happen. And what we did was we said, we should have a retreat on our beautiful campus in St. Louis and invite folks to learn from Bishop Cozzens. And then we'll capture this event and share it with the wider world. And what better time than the season of Lent, when we have these 3 pillars of Lent: prayer, fasting, almsgiving. But one of these pillars kind of stands out above the rest, and that's prayer, because fasting and almsgiving are for the sake of our union, our relationship with God, and that happens in prayer. And so we thought this would be the perfect piece to kind of share with the church and to share with our fellow Catholics in the season of Lent, because this is an opportunity that we have to rediscover prayer, to go deeper into prayer, to hear God's voice, which is a theme that Bishop Cozzens really focuses on, how to hear God's voice in prayer. We're all longing to hear his voice. So that was kind of what was behind the series and bringing it out at this particular time.
Well, so this was filmed at the stunning chateau on the Institute's campus north of St. Louis. You guys have been there, I think, is about a year now. So is this one of the first, retreat series that you got to record at the new digs?
Yeah, so we have been there about a year and a half, and it's been wonderful, and we've had many events. But you are right, this is the first one that we decided to invest in a way to say, we've had some beautiful events here, very fruitful, very rich, very edifying, but we want to kind of expand that and share that with others. And this has kind of been the history of the Augustine Institute, which started as a graduate school and offering master's degrees. And we had a small on-campus student population, but realizing that there's treasures here to be shared more widely, we moved to distance education as well. And so now we teach about 500 or so students, and they're on-campus and distance students. And this retreat followed a similar dynamic where we realized, boy, this is something incredible that we have here. Let's do it in a way that we can share with a wider audience. And what better person than Bishop Cozzens to kind of begin that? So yes, this is our first live retreat event that we've kind of opened up to share with the world.
So when it comes to the idea of calling something retreat style, I'm sure people, many people who've listened have been on retreats, but if they haven't, what maybe is different than, as it were, a straight-up class on praying? What is the hope that the retreat style can benefit people who get a chance to partake in the heart of prayer?
Yeah, that's a great question. Well, when I think of teaching, I think of, listening attentively to a teacher, and maybe you're taking some notes, and you learn something, right? Learning is always an important component of our faith. There's no doubt that when we deepen our faith, part of that involves learning. But we can also kind of shift the weight a little bit or shift the direction towards our relationship with God more directly. And so this particular series does involve teaching because Bishop Cozzens teaches about prayer. But it was a retreat in its format, which means there were questions to prompt times of prayer and reflection. There was an opportunity to implement and apply what Bishop Cozzens was teaching, and he gave specific methods and tips based on the teaching of the church, based on the lives and the teaching of the saints, for those who were at the retreat or those who were viewing it to kind of apply this and practice it in their own life. So there's this practical dimension that we tried to foster by providing a digital handout or guide that you can download for free, and that kind of walks each viewer through the steps that, in a way, turn it into a retreat. So going from some of those teachings to a kind of practical application with themes for prayer, topics for meditation, steps to take, things to watch out for. It's very practical and gentle in that way with each viewer.
So people can go find this on Formed. So if people are interested in that, how do people do that? And then also you have free supplemental guided reflections that they can get if they sign up. So where can they find this, and where can they get the free supplements?
Yes, the best place to go is daily.formed.org/Lent. One more time, that's daily.formed.org/Lent. And there you can sign up to receive kind of notifications about the series, where to find it. The digital download is there, or also if you already have a subscription to formed.org, you can just go there, and right there on the series itself, you'll see a link for the digital download, which again is free, and is a really wonderful tool for doing this either as a small group in your parish, or maybe a household or family, or just doing it on your own as an individual retreat during Lent. A lot of us give up media for Lent, but this is one way to use media for the good of fostering our prayer. So maybe this is the one kind of media commitment that somebody makes with the videos, the digital download, and deepening their life of prayer.
We got a minute left. What would you say if you have, quickly to say if people are considering this, what would you tell them to make them go over the top and say this is something to decide to focus on and actually do and finish here during Lent?
Yeah, I would say Bishop Cozzens really is a master teacher on prayer. I met him 25 years ago when I was a Net missionary working with Net Ministries. He taught me about prayer then. So this brings it full circle, where it's not often that we have the chance to sit at the feet of a bishop who has a deep life of prayer, who has a wonderful understanding of prayer. So I would sort of take the plunge, apprentice yourself to Bishop Cozzens for just a few episodes, practice prayer, and learn what it means to be in union with God and to hear his voice this Lent.
Wonderful. The Heart of Prayer Lenten series featuring Bishop Andrew Cozzens, like I said, in joint partnership with the National Eucharistic Congress. This is Dr. Scott Hefelfinger, Associate Professor at the Augustine Institute Graduate School of Theology and Director of Content Development. Thank you for coming on the Catholic Morning Show.
Thank you so much for having me, and have a blessed Lent.